Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel once again. This is your friend Abhishek, but not a financial advisor. And in today's video, we are going to talk about Enphase Energy Stock. Yes. So guys, welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to answer a few questions like, is Enphase Energy Stock a buy? And we will also do some Enphase Energy Stock analysis. And I will try to answer the question, am I buying Enphase Energy Stock? And if yes, then why I am buying Enphase Energy Stock. You will find all these answers in this video. I will try to keep this video short as possible, but informative at the same time. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay guys, so here we are on a platform called Stock Unlock, and this platform I generally use for my stock analysis. So we will do the Enphase Energy Stock analysis via this platform because it just makes it easier. So here we are on the journal page of the Enphase Energy Stock. So just let's dive into the evaluation part, okay? Because this is what I want to really show you guys. And this will definitely therefore answer is Enphase Energy Stock a buy and why I'm buying Enphase Energy Stock. So anyways, let's get started, okay? So first of all, usually what people see is the price to earnings ratio, and currently it's sitting at 28. And if you just look at the price to earnings ratio and people who see this metric, it might seem still a bit expensive on the expensive side because 30, 28 and 30 is not that cheap, yeah? But you should also see the industry average and also always see the historical price to earnings ratio. That means how much people or the investors are willing to pay as a premium for this particular company. So let's check that, and we will try to see from 2019 because that's when the company actually became first positive cash flow. And we can see from 2018 till 2023 the average has been 69, 69, which is really expensive, but that's the average, and that's the historical average, and which I wanted to show you guys. And actually the median is at 38, okay? So that's the median. And let's see now, when was it at its least price to earnings ratio? And it was around here, 2020, let's say second quarter or third quarter at 19, when the company was actually generating $215 million in positive cash flow, compared to now when it's generating almost $700 million positive cash flow. So this is the first thing which I wanted to show you guys. And it also went as high as 384, like almost Nvidia. So that means there is no doubt that people definitely pay a high premium for Enphase Energy. So if you see like that, then 28 doesn't seem to be expensive. In fact, it looks a bit undervalued, okay? So price to earnings ratio is not the most important metric, and it can be easily manipulated. So I definitely don't go in for price to earnings ratio until and unless it's really crazy undervalued or overvalued. Then I do check that out, but like I said, it can be easily manipulated. So that's why I am not focusing on price to earnings ratio, but I'm just talking from the perspective of many investors or many YouTubers who are talking about price to earnings ratio at this moment. So that's why I wanted to just clear that out. So now the most important thing for me is the operating cash flow and free cash flow, okay? So here we are on the free cash flow chart, and let's go to 2018 when it actually became free cash flow positive. So if we look at the trailing 12-month period, so we can see that the cash flow was actually consistent. It was increasing and improving steadily, but suddenly in 2022 it picked up an exponential curve, and this was huge, okay? Now the drawback why people or investors are a bit hesitant regarding Enphase Energy, because also the earnings report were not that promising. I mean, in my opinion, they were still good, but according to Wall Street, they were not. And also the investors are thinking about that, and it's true. So the problem is the current macroeconomic situation, which is actually affecting many other companies out there. But why especially the solar companies? Because they are installing solar panels on the roofs for private customers, and many, like 80 to 90% of the customers cannot pay upfront. So that's why they need to take credit. And now since the money is expensive and the interest rates have gone high, and that's the factor which is affecting the stock price. And that's why this could be a bit challenging to understand, that when the inflation was pretty high in 2022, why they were still like growing nicely. It was because the interest rates were not that high. They were not increased up to 4 to 5% at that time. Fed was still thinking about what to do so that it doesn't hurt the economy. And now since the interest rates are high, that's why the guidance has dropped. And that is what actually is affecting the stock price right now. So that's the story behind why Enphase Energy is at a sell-off. But now let's look at the other part of the evaluation, okay? So since we are on the free cash flow page, so we can see that the free cash flow has been steadily increasing since 2018, and in the last quarter 2023 it was still an improvement of 4%. Okay, now let's check out the evaluation model. So here we are. So the metric which we are taking is free cash flow, and the numbers of years to project we are taking 5. The metric growth rate I will take 15%, but let's check that out. So here, if you can see, the metric growth rate has been around 12%, 15%, 40%, even 16%, and here 44%. Yeah, but 44% is definitely not consistent. Yeah, so I will definitely not take 44%. But let's say in this macroeconomic situation, they were still growing their free cash flow at a 15%, though the guidance from the CEO in the earnings report was 20 to 25%. But I will not take 20 to 25%. I don't trust the guidance so much like it happened with PayPal. The results and the guidance were way off the track, totally in opposite directions. So that's why I take always the guidance with a pinch of salt. So I would say they can still grow with 10 to 15%. So to be conservative, I take 15%, yeah, not 25%. And then if we see here, so shares outstanding, yes, they are diluting us and at actually 3%, but let's say I say 5%, because if the macroeconomic situation still pertains and the interest rates are on the higher side, stays on the higher side for some time, then they might need to dilute. I don't think they will dilute because their positive cash flow is pretty decent, but let's say they still want to dilute because they are still diluting anyways. So let's keep it at 5%. And now the price ratio you will see how conservative I am. So I have kept a price ratio of 20, but so check this out. So we'll talk about the price to free cash flow ratio, and we'll take a time span from 2018 to 2023, because earlier it doesn't make sense as they were not positive free cash flow. So if we take this, then we can see that their average positive free cash flow ratio, price to free cash flow ratio, is 56. The median is 47, and highest was 566, which was in 2018 when they actually became positive free cash flow. Okay, this I understand. This is quite a really good news for the company. So yeah, investors get crazy. They predict really crazy futures. So that's why they pay such a high premium. But the latest is at 18, guys. 18. This is incredibly low. Okay. We were talking about price to earnings ratio, which was sitting at 29, but this is actually a much better metric in my opinion. Yeah, this cannot be manipulated, and that's why I am saying that this is, pretty cheap. Okay, so taking price to ratio of 20 for the next 5 years, which I think is damn conservative. Yeah, and discount rate of 10%, because that's the minimum return which I expect. So we can see that now it is actually trading at a fair value. And that's the answer to the question why I am buying Enphase Energy, and is this stock a buy? Yes, in my opinion, it is still a buy. Okay, so we are definitely growing at a compound annual growth rate of 10%, which we expect at a discount rate of 10%. But now let's be a bit realistic. Okay, not overly conservative, and let's say we will take an average of 30. Yeah, in that case we have a future stock price of 143%. And let's see, okay, just to make it much understandable, if we take that into consideration, then until 2028 Enphase Energy stock would have to create a positive cash flow of $1.7 billion. Now, would that be possible? Yes, in my opinion, exactly. So let's take the historical free cash flow of 2020, and it was at 215. In just 2 years, it grew up by, let's say, 50%, $323 million. And in just 1 year, it grew up by almost 300%. So in the next 5 years, I do think that they can definitely grow by at least 100%. And this is why I do think that this price to ratio is actually still conservative, but let's say this is the fair price ratio I would keep, and I do think that their metric growth could be higher than 15%. Now let's talk about why the investors are a bit conservative regarding, or skeptic regarding, Enphase Energy. So this is an article which was released when the new price target was set by the Wall Street, and the problem is this, like I've already mentioned. So the residential solar market is taking a hit because of the rising interest rates, and therefore the cost of financing large home projects like installing solar panels have become more expensive. So this is the basic reason, guys. This is the only reason why actually the solar companies are taking a hit, because money has become expensive, and laying down a set of solar panel is not that cheap, to be honest. And that's why definitely majority of the customers need credit for that. And also the cost, the return on your investment is a long term, because the money which you save with solar panels, they offset the cost which you have put into installing the solar panels, might take 10, 15, 20 years. So you save, yes, but in a long frame time. And that's why this is not the best ideal situation when the interest rates are rising for such expensive projects and such expensive consumer products. So like you guys already saw, that the main reason, which is the macroeconomic situation, which is not just affecting Enphase Energy but also many other companies, because it doesn't matter if the company wants the money or the consumer wants the money in general is expensive. So if I want to buy a car, if I want to get a loan, then it is expensive, and that is hurting the car company. If the company wants to finance something and run their operations, for them as well, the money is expensive, so they would have to pay high interest rates, and that's when they would be in negative cash flow for the upcoming months, or they would have to dilute. So it hurts both the ends. But like I have said this many times, this is not a permanent situation. Macroeconomic situations, and these are cycles, so they will definitely improve. And that's why I'm saying that Enphase Energy stock is a good long-term hold stock, in my opinion. I would not put 100% of my money right now. So for example, my target is to put, let's say, 10,000 euros or something like that. I will put 5,000 euros, and then I will keep the next 5,000 euros to maybe put every month or something like that, because according to me, like I already showed you, it is trading at a fair value according to my assumptions. And then if it goes below $115, $100 as well. But like I've explained, and I've showed you the DCF model for Enphase Energy stock, according to my expectations and my predictions, it does pass as a long-term investment with a compound annual growth of minimum 10%, but on the good side it could be 15 to 20% as well. So that's it, guys. That's what I wanted to show you guys in this video. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, then please don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to leave a comment and hit that like button. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and ciao.